Hey guys, what did I miss? Hi guys and welcome to Roaming Recess. It's been about 50 plus days since I even made one of these videos, and I really do enjoy making these videos. They're a lot of fun to make. They really take me out of my comfort zone, which is something I believe everyone needs to do every once in a while. You know, talking directly to a camera, something I never do. I never really do in real life. I don't do movies, I don't do acting really. I did a play once when I was like 18, and that was like just something as a favor for a friend. I don't do this usually for people, and that's why, you know, there's probably been a little bit of a break, 50 plus days. The reason for that break would probably be just nothing to talk about really. Like, yeah, there was loads of stuff with the PS4 and all this stuff, but really it just didn't feel good enough to talk about. But since it is the end of the year, or close to the end of the year, I think we're going to be talking about this week my game of the year, like my game of the year this year. And we're also going to be talking about other categories as well, like most anticipated. I'm basically going to do this like the Calvin Delaney or Roaming Recess Game of the Year show. Where also, down below in the comment section, you can tell me your answers to these categories, or you can tell me just your Game of the Year. It may sound a little bit pretentious, but I thought this would be really fun to do. I don't know, maybe it's just me that thinks this is fun. I almost forgot the Christmas hat as well. I had a Christmas hat just lying around, and I was like, this would be good to wear in a video. That's a good idea, Calvin. That'll get some laughs. It's probably not going to get some laughs, but at least it might give some holiday cheer. I don't know how long it's going to stay on for, because it's really hot, and really, even though it looks very cold here in Ireland, for some reason it's very warm around the area where I live right now. I'm not sure why, but that's just it. I have a sheet here with a bunch of categories for different things. Basically, it's basically my favorite things throughout the year of video games. And again, please tell me yours down below. So let's begin. I think my camera actually got considerably brighter. I don't know why. It might be just getting brighter outside. It is pretty early in the morning right now. It's actually not that early. It's 11 o'clock. So let's get into this right now. I thought I'd start off with most anticipated game for next year. There's a lot of games that are coming out next year. The nominees are Resident Evil 7, Persona 5, Danganronpa, that new game that's coming out. I'm excited because my friends are excited. That's the only reason why I'm excited. Also, Breath of the Wild. I thought I put that there as well. Final Fantasy 12 could also be there, but I'm not as excited for it as I was for the remake of Final Fantasy 10. I'm gonna give this one to Persona 5. Mainly because I think it's the only one out of all of them that I've actually pre-ordered like a collector's edition for them. I know you shouldn't pre-order games, but Persona is one of those series that I fell in love with so much this year, and I don't think that it's gonna burn me too much to have an art book of Persona 5. I think it's actually going to be pretty cool. Next up we have RPG of the Year. This is pretty tough. There's a lot of good ones this year. I'm putting in Dark Souls 3, Dragon Quest 7, Pokemon Moon, Final Fantasy 15. All these games are fantastic. All these games are amazing. I think I'm going to have to give it though to Final Fantasy 15 just because it's the game that impacted me more out of all. Game I played the most. There is no nominees for this. There is not even a chance of any other game getting closest. I played Dark Souls 3 the most out of any game this year. On my 10th playthrough, really. And it's really no signs of slowing down. I might play another one before the end of the year. It's just so much fun to actually go back and play this game with different weapons. Of course, that's how you do it in Dark Souls. You beat the first game, then you try different weapons over and over again. Best indie game. There's only two like nominees for this. That's Firewatch and Salt and Sanctuary. I would give it to Firewatch if it wasn't for the awesome feeling that I got every time I defeated a boss in Salt and Sanctuary. Yeah, a lot of the bosses seem kind of cheap, but I feel like it's a game that I'm even excited for to come out on the PS Vita. So that's why I think I have to give it Best Indie Game. It was just the one I had most fun with. Best Music. We have The Last Guardian, Dark Souls 3, Final Fantasy 15. These are the three games that I feel like went above and beyond with their music. And I'm going to give this one to The Last Guardian. Spoiler that like a lot of people probably already know this. And I hate to be one of those guys that goes, spoiler alert in real life, because that's not me. Well, clearly it is, Calvin. You know, you're lying to people. This game means a lot to me. Ueda is my favorite director. He kind of created my love for video games in general. Yeah, I loved video games before that. Yeah, Final Fantasy X was one of my favorite games. It still is one of my favorite games of all time. But when Shadow of the Colossus came out, I didn't know you could do those things with video games. I didn't know you could like create such things like that in video games. But you could. clearly, and people have done it since, and a lot of people might say a lot of people have done it better. I don't think they have, but I'm a fanboy, so what can you say? So The Last Guardian gets definitely the best music. The best DLC, I've only really played 2, Ashes of Ariandel and Blood and Wine. I'm gonna give it a tie. Yeah, it's the first tie. Both these games deserve to be best DLC. Blood and Wine is absolutely fantastic. If Hearts of Stone came out this year, I think it honestly is the greatest DLC of all time for any game. You can challenge me on that, that's fine. But it's just so good. It's such a good DLC. It's so good, but like Blood and Wine is, it's slightly less good. Best art style. This is one that might get a little bit pretentious. Salt and Sanctuary, Dark Souls 3, The Last Guardian, Firewatch. Again, I think that it came down to between Firewatch and The Last Guardian, and I think out of all of it, I think I enjoyed the actual aesthetic and art style of The Last Guardian. I think I actually just enjoyed it more than anything because, yeah, a lot of those things in that game is really technically beautiful, but the art style is just something that like is just there. It's gorgeous on its own. The most innovative, Final Fantasy 15 or Pokemon. Both games moved their series forward and made their series something special and made them hopeful for the future. That's why I think both of these games deserve it, but I'm not gonna give it a tie. I think Pokemon Moon and Sun actually changed the Pokemon series. It made people more hopeful for the series. It changed up a lot of mechanics that a lot of past players who dropped out, who didn't like the game, eventually started to like, and that's something that's can't be taken for granted. A game series that has not changed, barely changed, like slightly since the beginning, now has a whole new meaning to it, and that's something that like cannot be taken for granted. I think the most innovative in terms of that, like changing the actual game series, goes to Pokemon Moon. So we have a category that a lot of people probably won't like, but it's best remaster or remake. We have Resident Evil 4, 5, 6, and 0, Skyrim Remastered, Dragon Quest 7, and Dead Island Remastered. There is no way in hell that I would give it to anything else but Dragon Quest 7. If you look at the differences between the first game of each, Resident Evil 0 is a close second, but if you look at the differences between Dragon Quest 7 on the original time it released, when it was Dragon Warrior 7, I believe it was, and now when it's Dragon Quest 7 on the 3DS, there is no way that it could not win. And it's a lot of fun as well. I like that game. It's not just because of how it looks. It's a great turn-based RPG. I would recommend it if you have a 3DS. I think it's pretty low in price now. I can get it for €37, but I already have it. That's what wins Best Remaster. So a weird enough category, the best games that I played this year that didn't come out this year. A weird category that's basically just me wanting to acknowledge the fact that like there was a lot of good games that I played from the past that I played this year for the first time. That's Persona 4, Tales of Hearts R, there's Tales of Exilia, Zelda Link Between Worlds, Zelda Twilight Princess, and I didn't put Zelda Twilight Princess in the best remasters. That's an oversight. And Persona 4. Again, it's probably no stranger to that's not how you say that thing. It's probably no surprise to anybody that I'm gonna give this one to Persona 4. Again, a game that's impacted me more than any other game. It jumped up past a lot of games in my top 10. It goes Shadow of the Colossus Persona 4 now as my second favorite game of all time. And I didn't take that, I didn't take that for granted. I thought about that for hours. Is this like one of my games that I could actually say is one of my favorite of all time? And it is. So I played a lot of games this year, but Game of the Year is something that I didn't want to decide until I got onto camera. I thought it'd be pretty fun to actually see me like painfully deliberate over why these 4 games should be Game of the Year. And all of them kind of deserve it in my opinion, just in my humble opinion. That's Dark Souls 3, Final Fantasy 15, The Last Guardian, and Pokemon Moon. All games that I enjoyed so much, all games I played countless hours of. They have their own problems, of course, but again, I'm not the person that goes around nitpicking problems. I'm not a game reviewer, that's not my job. I just play the games, and so that's why I'm gonna knock off Pokemon Moon first. Then, I'm gonna knock off I'm gonna knock off Dark Souls 3. The reason why I love Dark Souls series, people know I love the Dark Souls series. They know I love it. But Dark Souls 3 didn't give me that same feeling that I played when I played Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. Yes, it's an amazing game. Yes, I played it 10 times over. But still, it doesn't give me that feeling inside when I play it when I play Demon Souls, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1, or Dark Souls 2. It's not more of the same like people say. It's a completely different game, has a completely different story. It really ties up a lot of loose ends and creates some new ones. but I have to knock it off the list. Which leaves Final Fantasy 15 and The Last Guardian. I love both of these games almost equally. I think tomorrow I might make a different decision if you ask me again, but I think what I'm going to do is 2016's Game of the Year for me is The Last Guardian. It was pretty close to. It's pretty close because I'm in my head right then when I said The Last Guardian. It's like, no, it's Final Fantasy 15, and then I just went, no, it's The Last Guardian. I'm not schizophrenic. I just think like that sometimes. I think the reason why I'm picking The Last Guardian is because it's a game that has a director that has influenced me throughout the years and did not disappoint. I've waited years for both of these games, but it just so happens that in my heart and my soul, both of these games are worth the wait. But for me, The Last Guardian just made way more of an impression on me. Not way more, but an impression on me just a little bit more than Final Fantasy 15. I love Final Fantasy 15. I was bawling my eyes out at the end of that game. No spoilers. But yeah, that's my Game of the Year, The Last Guardian. So guys, as it happens, what's your Game of the Year? What was your game this year that defined your year, that made this year 2016 what it is? For 2016 may be awful for other people, and people are talking about how awful of a year it is, but all I can get out of my head is how good the video games were this year. How good this year was for video games. Like, it was so good. Like, I said at the start of the year that if every game came out without a hitch, and every game got a 9 or a 10 or a 5 in terms of stars, this would be like one of the greatest years of gaming ever. Is it one of the greatest years of gaming ever? We'll figure out probably like 5 years down the line. Wow, that was a really fucking good year. I mean, you look at the games like Uncharted, which I didn't play, but it's scored pretty highly. You look at other games like Dark Souls 3, Final Fantasy 15, Pokemon, all these indie games that came out this year. I think that this year will go down in history as one of the 2010s. And by 2010, I mean, Pokemon, Soul Silver, Red Dead Redemption year. Pretty big years. I love 2016 in terms of video games. This is not the last one recess I'm doing, but I love 2016 in terms of video. Again, I apologize for how bright this has gone. I keep changing the settings, and then like the actual natural light changes the settings for me, which is funny. Like that's fine. Whoever's up above in those clouds, whether it be God himself or lightning, it doesn't really matter. Lightning, as in the Final Fantasy 15 character. But it's time to talk about what I've been doing this week. What I've been doing this week is playing Persona 3. And also recording stuff for the channel. Persona 3, again, I think I talked about Persona 4, but Persona 3 is a game that is so good. I've played it before, and I just had to go back before I played Persona 5. I have to go back. It's a really fun game. Really great game. It takes a while for me to care about the characters a little bit, but it eventually, like last night, I was playing again. I was like, yeah, this is why I care about these characters. This is why I love these characters. But yeah, that's one of the things I've been doing. I've also handing in essays and stuff like that, which isn't as interesting. Of course, I've been playing The Last Guardian, and of course, I've been playing Final Fantasy 15 and Pokemon Moon in the past couple of weeks. Since I should be talking about what I've done in the past couple of months or weeks since then. I've played a shit ton of games that I've loved so much. It's hard to talk about all of them. I wish I could talk about stuff. Next week, I'm going to talk about all of the news that I missed to see if anything's really that important to talk about. So Wind Waker HD has been going for a while now, over 25 days, over a month I think. We are closing in on like the final temple, then we're going to be going on I think to fight Ganon. The way I say that is like, we're going to fight Ganon like we're doing it in real life, we're doing it in a video game. The plans I have for the channel going forward, I am going to probably put it to a vote whether we play Mario Kart Wii, whether we play Final Fantasy. I want to play Final Fantasy 10 or 7 on this channel. I want to do it. I want to play the full game. I don't know how interesting that sounds, but I want to do it. To all the new people who subscribed since the last Nintendo, when I did a Nintendo Switch video, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for coming here. I do this show like every once in a while when I have something to talk about. That's pretty much all I gotta say. I'm really happy with everything, obviously I usually am, even if things don't look that good on the channel, they make me feel good, because even if one person's watching anything, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. It's my hobby. I love my hobby. I put most of my time into the hobby by choice. It's not by like, oh, I have to put my time into this hobby. It's like, no, I do that for, on purpose. It's a thing that I do. So what I'm going to say is, thank you everybody for everything. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for doing all that stuff. And if I had to ask another question for you guys, What game would you like me to play on this channel? Because honestly, you know, I do want to play a Final Fantasy game eventually, but also we're playing Persona 5 in March, and I feel like that game would be like really fucking long. We're also playing Resident Evil in January, so keep that in mind if you wanted me to play a horror game. You know, it's nice to break up the content. I could just play Skyward Sword tomorrow. I could just, like, as soon as I beat Wind Waker, play Skyward Sword tomorrow, but I feel like that would be just, I think that's like cheating everybody out of a good experience, because Skyward Sword is, you know, I'm sure it's great, I'm sure it's fantastic, but playing it right after another Zelda game, that just means I'm trying to be a Zelda guy. That's what it seems like. I'm trying to be a Zelda guy, which, you know, I think being the Zelda guy, that a lot of our channels do that. I love the Zelda series. I love that a lot of you guys have introduced me to the world of Zelda. You know, Wind Waker I probably would have never played unless a lot of people were suggesting it in the comment section for about the past year and a half. But I think what I'm going to do is schedule Skyward Sword for February. From February like 1st to February like to like March, February 1st to like March like 20th or something. Just do Skyward Sword then. Resident Evil's not gonna be that long. It might be January when we play Skyward Sword. It might be January. But thank you guys for watching this. I hope this video wasn't too long. It wasn't too long. I'm surprised that, because like, yeah, we did a pretty good job there. Oh yeah, just a Christmas hat already. Sorry I haven't made one of these. I know a few people actually enjoy these things. I enjoy them probably more than anyone, just because I like making them. But I shall see you all fairly soon. Bye bye.